Now on CoastTV News.
Police pay, a Milford pay study looking at what city officers make and why some in the community believe a change is necessary. A big boost for Maryland workers, the potential minimum wage hike on the table. And helping our heroes, how the VA is making sure veterans get the benefits they deserve with a local claims clinic.
The cold weather keeps clapping back at us to fall into single-digit wind chills. I'll pinpoint the coldest spots that will be coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
The Milford Police Department and the changes that could be coming. Good evening. I'm Christina DeRobertis. Welcome to CoastTV News at 11. We begin tonight with a look at the pay for police officers in Milford. Well, Sussex County is getting bigger, and so is the city of Milford, but more people, that can mean more problems and typically means busier police departments. As CoastTV News reporter Emma Aiken shows us, a new study is evaluating the pay of those positions that protect us.
The city of Milford is in the middle of a pay study that evaluates how much people are and should be making. That includes the police department. Michelle Rudzik hopes the study means more money in the pocket of the protectors.
So I think in today's world, police officers should make a lot more money. They go out every day and they really don't know if they're going to come home that night.
According to Milford PD's website, right now, new officers make $61,000 a year with benefits. But depending on how this study goes, that number could be bumped up.
My personal feeling is they should be probably making more for what they have to go through. Dealing with homeless people, drunks, alcoholics, mad people, I couldn't do the job.
At a city council meeting this coming Monday, the chief of police will present an update on this pay study, and according to the department, once it is completed, certain positions could be in line for raises. In Milford, I'm Emma Aiken, CoastTV News.
So if money makes the world go round, then a little more money in your paycheck can make a big difference. In Maryland, some workers could see a pay bump next year. Government officials in Maryland are debating major changes that could affect businesses in the state. And right now, the minimum wage in Maryland is $15 an hour, but officials are discussing an increase that would take that all the way up to $20. And that includes for tipped workers, although it's not something that would happen all at once. The gradual increase to $20 an hour would take until 2030, but one local says that could hurt businesses.
For small businesses especially that don't have the largest margins, they can't afford that, and the end result will almost certainly be that some people will lose their jobs.
If you work 40 hours a week every week at $20 an hour, you would make somewhere around $41,000 a year. Now, if the legislation moves forward, it will then go to a ballot vote in 2026. We're taking a live look outside into Milford now, and our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams is going to join us for a check on the weather. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Christina, and we have the cold that's in full effect for us right now. We have high pressure over the southeast and mid-Atlantic. It's going to really keep things really at the chilly side. I mean, it feels like 9 degrees right now in Georgetown. That's just face hurt kind of cold, right? It's 22 is what it feels like in Bethany Beach as well as Rehoboth Beach. 18 is what it feels like in Milton, 16 in Redden, 17 actually in Seaford. It feels like 13 in Salisbury, 16 Ocean Pines, and 19 Ocean City. Now, coming up, we are simply going to have to deal with a couple more days of this, well, a couple more mornings. But then I do have a little bit of hope in the forecast for much more sane temperatures, Christina, but looks like we may have to wait until the end of the weekend before we get to that point.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Well, the city of Rehoboth Beach has long been a pillar of the LGBTQ plus community, and now 9 people from across the state, including some in Rehoboth, will have a direct pathway to Delaware's highest levels of government. CoastTV News reporter Brandon Ferguson talked exclusively with one member of the state's newest commission.
Leslie Lediger is the president of the board at Camp Rehoboth, a community center for Sussex County's LGBTQ+ community. She says having a state LGBTQ+ commission ensures Delaware leaders know what's going on as they make major policy decisions.
We are to advocate for awareness and protections for the community against bigotry, violence, hatred, and other forms of discrimination. So having that conversation out loud and making sure that all voices from all segments of the community are heard is crucial.
Richard Woodring, who lives in Rehoboth, tells Coast TV anything will help. But one thing did get his attention from the newly formed committee.
I'm kind of surprised that this committee hasn't already been formed years ago.
Just some of what this commission will do is advise the governor, policymakers, and state agencies on policies affecting LGBTQ+ people, and promotes awareness of LGBTQ+ contributions and protections against discrimination.
This is a really consequential moment for the LGBTQ community.
In Bethany Hall Long's brief period as governor, she named 4 people to the commission. So that leaves now Governor Matt Meyer with 5 people to name the commission, and these positions are unpaid.
Lediger says the commission will also handle data surrounding hate crimes and bias.
In Rehoboth Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know if you think a state LGBTQ+ commission effectively addresses LGBTQ challenges. So let's take a look at the results, see what you guys think. It looks like 58% saying no, more people saying no than yes, 42% saying yes. But we still want to know what you think. It's not too late to vote, so go over to coasttv.com or use our mobile app and share your opinion. Well, it has been cold outside, and if you don't have anywhere to go, it has been dangerous. An emergency overnight shelter status for one Georgetown nonprofit is about to expire. Lou Hernandez, director of the Higher Ground Outreach, says he hopes to work with the town again to provide shelter in cases of severe weather.
Maybe we can work out where the wind conditions permit it, when the conditions are bad in the weather, snow, ice, hurricane, whatever type of severe conditions, that we can continue to open up again and keep people safe until those conditions clear up.
The Georgetown town manager tells Coast TV that the discussion of an emergency plan could be something the town looks into, and he would look to the local nonprofits for help to create something like that there in Georgetown. Millsboro welcomed in veterans from across the state earlier this evening for a clinic showing them all of the benefits that they can receive as a veteran. The event had a presentation, some snacks, coffee, and of course veterans. And Coast TV News reporter Brendan Conroy takes us there.
Veterans, veteran services, those that support them. All coming together Thursday at the American Legion Post 28 in Millsboro for a Veterans Claims Clinic, and it was a packed house.
This meeting was one of the most positive meetings that have occurred, and I've been studying this problem for 10 years.
The only way that we can drive change or take your feedback and put it into action.
The event's purpose was to show veterans all the health and financial benefits that they can receive from the state of Delaware. Plans for a micro-hospital, more Outlook, other services that they are entitled to, all discussed in a presentation by Kim Butler, who works for the VA in Wilmington.
Hopefully it helps us to form deeper bonds with the community and get people to really trust VA.
For veterans who were there, they praised that alumnus feeling among these organizations.
The one thing that's important to us is that a lot of the outreach is done through organizations that already have veterans.
But they say there is always more work to be done.
Delaware receives the least amount of funding on most areas of veteran support. This is not only detrimental to the veterans, but the economy of Delaware.
These tables are cleared off right now, but I'm going to show you on your screen what they looked like while the event was going on. And veterans at the end of the speaking portion of the event had the opportunity to go over, speak to Veterans Affairs officials, and grab some goodies and their benefits for being a veteran. Serving those who served our country. In Millsboro, Brendan Conroy, Coast TV News.
New technology is helping people make more arrests and deter crime in Seaford. This is the Seaford Police Department's real-time crime center. With help from automation company Flock Safety, the department has centralized 21 cameras and 7 automatic license plate readers across the city. Whether at the police station or in a police car, operators and officers can now access information from the cameras and readers at any time.
We already had the cameras in place that are installed through the city, but they're in one location. We have them and we have that access, but to go through a list of cameras when we can see a map of exactly where they're at just speeds up that information.
The system was installed last June. It also includes access to officer body-worn cameras and floor plans for every school in Seaford. Well, firefighters in Southern California are expected to get some rain relief in the days ahead, but as Laura Aguirre reports, depending on where that rain falls and how much, it could unleash a whole different kind of threat on residents who have lost everything.
Thousands of firefighters, battle-worn by weeks on the front lines, continue to fight for total containment of multiple fires today, with a weekend forecast that could bring rain relief and a possible new threat. Forecasters say more rain could fall across Southern California before Monday than it's had since last June. The needed rain brings with it the risk of mudslides and possible flooding, prompting CAL FIRE to fill pallets of sandbags for distribution to residents in the fire-scarred areas, where there's precious few trees, structures, and vegetation to handle the rain. A new wildfire erupted Wednesday, the Hughes, which ignited north of Santa Clarita Wednesday and so far has burned over 10,000 acres. At one point, over 50,000 people were under evacuation orders or warnings.
As long as there is active flame, we will constantly be reassessing on where the evacuation warnings and orders need to be.
With the Hughes fire, location helps.
We're fortunate because we can dip right out of Castaic Lake, so we've got a lot of water up there.
A water access and wind advantage over the firefights to the south.
It's nowhere near what we saw over in the Palisades and Eaton Fire with 80 to 100 mile an hour gusts.
Those two blazes, the most deadly and destructive of the fires this month, are both over 70% contained this hour, and recovering residents there are waiting to see what the weekend of rain ahead will bring. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
We are just getting started this evening. Still to come, rewriting history. One state senator asking President Trump to posthumously pardon a Delaware abolitionist. But first, helping neighbors, the heartwarming story in this week's Coastal Connections.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. We're looking on Friday, 37 degrees, 36 on Saturday in Cambridge. Cloudy, but warmer on Sunday. Now, pay attention to that Sunday, because that might be even more good news to come.
Ring in 2025 with a new roof from Spicer Brothers. Right now, get 20% off materials, plus save 25% on your entire roofing project. Our expert team is dedicated to providing unmatched customer service and quality craftsmanship. It's the perfect time to upgrade your home and start the year strong. So don't miss out on the 2025 savings with 20% off materials and 25% off your entire roofing project. Visit SpicerBros.com or call now to schedule your free consultation. Make Spicer Brothers your New Year's resolution, because you deserve the best. There's a reason Subaru owners keep coming back. It's because Subaru delivers what matters most: unmatched safety, reliability, and trust that grows with every mile. In fact, 96% of Subaru vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today, more than Honda or Toyota brands. At Gateway Subaru, we're proud to offer transparency, honest pricing, and the most enjoyable car buying experience. Stop by today and pre-order the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standard.
They say it takes a village, but what does that mean in action? On today's Coastal Connections, CoastTV news reporter Emma Aiken shows us how one local group is turning community care into life-saving support.
Carrying Teresa Butcher's groceries to her door. On this day, that's how village volunteer David Heald was using his free time.
I'm just helping them do what they want to do. If I can be a blessing to others in that sense, that's enough for me.
The local nonprofit tries to help older adults live independently. Before the groceries got to Butcher's door, the day started in the car. Heald went to Butcher's house to pick her up since she can't drive herself.
Everybody is wonderful. Everybody is wonderful. I don't know another organization that's probably as good as this one, honestly.
But first, Heald got her mail.
Good morning, Teresa.
And then to the store, where Butcher did her own shopping. But at the end, Heald was there to help her load the groceries in the car and take her back home. After a decade with the village, Butcher is confident they've changed her life.
I'm so happy that I'm with them. So very, very happy. So very happy.
And for Heald, I think he could say the same.
So I'd probably get more out of it than maybe the people I'm helping.
So whether it's a trip to the grocery store or even something creative like making a vision board, village volunteers show that community is built through one kind gesture at a time. For Coastal Connections, I'm Emma Aiken.
This morning's weather forecast courtesy of Baths by Spicer Brothers, a Delmarva tradition for over 20 years.
New year, new bath. Bring in 2025 with big savings from Baths by Spicer Brothers.
Right now, get 20% off all upgrades, plus save 25% on your entire bathroom project. Baths by Spicer Brothers can bring your vision to life with safe and accessible tub-to-shower conversions.
Our factory certified team guarantees 5-star professional installation completed in as little as 1 day.
Call today and save 20% off all upgrades and 25% off your entire bathroom project.
Baths by Spicer Brothers, because you deserve the best.
There's only one place to go for your next vehicle. IG Burton Toyota of Dover. Trusted since 1908 for our expert team, massive selection, and our great prices. Lease a new 2025 Toyota Corolla Hybrid for $259 a month. Or lease a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma for $249 a month. Visit us today. And remember,
Hey, it's Leah, and I'm so excited because this Monday we'll finally reveal to you who's going to be joining me as the next co-host of Coast Life. So mark your calendars and get excited for this very special moment. Join me and the new Coast Life co-host Monday at 4 on CoastTV.
With more than 25 years of surgical expertise, Dr. Julie Berry is now accepting new patients at Tidal Health Ear, Nose, and Throat Surgery. Dr. Berry offers specialized care for a wide range of general ear, nose, and throat disorders. Whether you're dealing with chronic sinus issues or require advanced surgical intervention, Dr. Berry is here to provide expert care tailored to your specific needs. Discover the difference that expert care can make. Schedule your appointment today.
Lighten up your week. Subscribe to the Coast TV Feel Good Friday newsletter. Sign up now for free at coasttv.com. Get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox. Coast TV First Alert Weather. Your safety, our commitment.
Well, if you can feel it in the air tonight, well, that's an old Phil Collins song, but you know what I'm saying. You can feel the cold in the air for tonight, and that's going to be the situation for us tomorrow morning and for Saturday morning, but things are looking up by the time we get to Sunday, particularly Monday and Tuesday. I'll show you the up part that I'm referring to in just a moment. First of all, Irish Eyes camera, Lewis, we're at about 22 degrees right now, dew point 14. Now the winds are moving at about 6 miles per hour. That makes a difference. Just that little bit of wind with this kind of cold. Yeah. You see, because we're staying in the low 20s for the rest of the night, if not dipping into the teens, to be quite honest. We started off at 6 degrees this morning in Georgetown, 4 for the starting point in Salisbury, 8 Ocean City, 5 for the starting point in Cambridge. That's how cold we started today. And by the way, that wasn't a record low. The record actually was about 1 degree below zero. But we're at 16 in Redden, 18 in Milton right now, as well as 18 in Georgetown. It's 16 degrees currently in Seaford. Now, it feels like 9 degrees in Georgetown. It feels like 15 degrees in Ocean Pines and 18 in Ocean City. Now, the good news is the watches and warnings, even the cold weather advisories, have been allowed to expire. Doesn't mean that the cold weather or the cold is out of the way. It's still in full effect for us here. We have a trough just to our northwest. That's going to drag more in the way of cloud cover our way. We have too much in the way of dominance of high pressure to our south, and the Arctic air mass is really going to be the focal point of our concern for the rest of the forecast period. By 10 o'clock Friday, we'll see scattered cloud cover developing between Seaford and Delmar, but we'll see more sunshine by mid-morning for places like Ellendale, Lewis, Rehoboth Beach, and Dewey Beach. Once again, depends on where you are. By the time we get into, let's say, late Friday going into going into Friday afternoon, Friday evening. Temperatures will stay in the 20s with the winds pouring primarily out of the north, so that makes the wind chill factor a big factor. We'll feel like 14 degrees Friday morning. Then we'll feel like 10 degrees briefly Saturday, but then we'll recover starting Saturday going into Sunday to get a little bit better. You see, we're going to see a steady increase after Saturday, like 39 Friday, Saturday. But then we jump by nearly 10 degrees on Sunday in Chincoteague, for example. We see the same interesting but uplifting pattern, for example, in Fenwick Island, 36, then we go to 46 degrees on Sunday. And even in Lewis and Rehoboth, it's going to be cloudy on Sunday, but get this, we'll go from 34 up to 43 degrees. So that increase is a bit hopeful. The upside of the forecast, which I'm about to go into great detail right now. Tonight, we're going a little bit down because it's still dangerously low wind chills for tomorrow, even though the winds are going to be light, but we're going to drop to 15 degrees. 37 for the high, partly sunny, and then 36 on Saturday. But after Saturday, we finally get a break. And here it is. It's your extended forecast. Sunday, we warm up to 48 degrees and Monday. Then on Tuesday, believe it or not, Christina, we peak at 51 glorious, warm, manageable, above the norm for this time of the year, degrees.
51. I could get behind that. Well, although centuries have passed, one state senator in Delaware is working to retell the story of a Delaware abolitionist who helped thousands of enslaved people find freedom. John Hunn, a Quaker abolitionist credited as the chief engineer of the Delaware Underground Railroad, used his properties along the St. Jones River as safe havens for those escaping slavery. But Hunn's bravery came at a cost. Convicted of federal crimes for his efforts, he lost everything and remains remembered in history as a felon, which is why State Senator Eric Buxton has sent a letter to President Trump asking him to pardon John Hunn, a step toward correcting what he sees as a centuries-old injustice.
Doing so, he lost everything, was convicted of a crime as a felon, and that remains on his record, and I think it's wrong.
Senator Buxton tells us the letter sent to President Trump was also sent to Delaware's congressional delegation. President Trump has pardoned anti-abortion activists who were convicted of blocking access to and temporarily shutting down clinics. He signed the pardon in a White House ceremony on Thursday, saying it was, quote, a great honor to do so. The activists who received pardons were convicted of a 1994 law designed to protect abortion clinics from threats and disruption. Friday, Trump is set to address the annual March for Life in a pre-taped video. Trump was the first sitting president to attend the anti-abortion rally when he spoke at the event back in 2020. Coming up in sports tonight, Seaford girls basketball searching for their 6th straight victory while taking on Laurel. And coming up, Delta Airlines is resuming flights to Israel after months of suspension. Stay with us.
Download the CoastTV News app on your Apple or Android devices.
It's the final days of the in-store warehouse clearance sale. Get up to 70% off store-wide, plus take an extra 10% off everything. And get no interest till 2027. But it all ends Monday at Johnny Janosic.
Ready to upgrade your drive? Visit buyatoyota.com or scan this QR code and start your journey today. Ready for anything with comfort that lasts the whole trip? Your new RAV4 is waiting with deals just a click away. Right now, buy a new Toyota RAV4 with low 4.99% APR financing. Toyota, let's go places.
A wet crawl space is a lurking hazard, inviting mold, rot, and structural worries. The answer is Brazier's Crawl Space Encapsulation. Our specialist tailors the solution to your exact crawl space. Our expert team cleans and upgrades your crawl space into a pristine, protected environment, and we only use April Air dehumidifiers. Reliable and robust, complete with a 5-year warranty. Take the first step to a drier, safer home. Call Brazier's or visit our website. Your peace of mind is just one call away.
Happy New Year from the dealership that puts you, the customer, first in everything we do. First State Chevrolet in Georgetown.
Rates as low as 2.4% and $2,000 off on this new 2025 Chevy Silverado.
Save over $3,000 on this 2024 Chevrolet Blazer. Sales, service, parts, body shop, and towing all in one convenient location in Georgetown, 1 mile north of the DMV.
We are First State Chevy in Georgetown, where we put you, the customer, first. Together, let's drive.
The Polar Bear Plunge, benefiting Special Olympics Delaware, is one of the First State's coldest and most beloved traditions. This year, you have 2 exciting ways to take part. Plunge in person in Rehoboth Beach on Sunday, February 2nd, or create your own virtual plunge. Anytime, anywhere, and as cold or not as you want. It's not about how you plunge, it's about why. Support thousands of Special Olympics Delaware athletes. Register now at plungede.org.
It's the final days of the in-store warehouse clearance sale. Get up to 70% off store-wide, plus take an extra 10% off everything. And get no interest till 2027. But it all ends Monday at Johnny Janosic.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Delta Airlines will soon resume service from the United States to Israel. Thursday, the carrier announced that daily direct flights from New York's JFK Airport to Tel Aviv, Israel, will begin in April. Delta halted service for several months following Hamas's deadly attack on Israel in 2023. Flights again were halted last October due to fighting between Israel and the Iran-backed Hezbollah militant group in Lebanon. Delta said its decision to resume U.S. service to Israel comes after a comprehensive security review. It also comes less than a week after a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas went into effect. In health news, today is Maternal Health Awareness Day. Experts call the maternal death rate in the U.S., quote, unacceptably high, as that rate is larger than any other high-income nation in the world. And sadly, many of those deaths are preventable. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has the maternal health risks everyone should know and explains why access to care remains a major problem.
It's considered one of the world's most powerful countries, but when it comes to maternal health, the U.S. remains weak. For every 100,000 live births in 2022, there were about 22 maternal deaths, with Black women being the most affected. That death rate is more than double, sometimes triple those seen in most other high-income countries that year.
It's an ongoing concern, and we're doing lots of things to try to bring those numbers down and get us into a better space.
Dr. Sarah Sams with the American Academy of Family Physicians says many of the maternal deaths are preventable, some linked to chronic diseases like obesity, hypertension, and diabetes. She says establishing care early on in a pregnancy is critical, but not everyone has easy access to that care.
Family physicians still provide maternity care in many areas, and especially in rural and underserved areas, kind of trying to alleviate some of those maternity deserts.
Sam says having a healthy diet, exercising, avoiding smoking, alcohol, and drugs play a big role in a healthy pregnancy. And since many maternal deaths happen up to a year after birth, she says postpartum care is also critical, especially if gestational diabetes or hypertension were present in pregnancy.
Many of these conditions are signs that you may be developing those as a long-term chronic problem.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Tonight, Seaford boys hoops in the hunt for their 8th win in 10 games this season while visiting the Laurel Bulldogs. Early on, it was Brock Hill cooking for the Bulldogs, off to a fast start with a few three-pointers, but Seaford's Mikey Matthews throwing it down on the other end. It was the Matthews brothers show in the first. Later on, Swag here with the pass inside to Jordan Smith with the finish, and the Blue Jays pouring it on. Swag knocking down the three. He had a game-high 19 points as Seaford comes out on top of Laurel to sweep the season series 58-49. Staying with basketball, Del Mar hosting Woodbridge. The Wildcats hoping to collect their second win over the Blue Raiders this season. Woodbridge came into Delmar firing right out of the gate. Jayla Crum-Jones shoots from deep and sinks it to start the Blue Raiders with a 3-0 lead just 30 seconds in. Then with 6:20 on the clock in the first, Ayana Hunt finds Deja Doughton, who hits it from the charity stripe to tie the game at 3. About 5:40 to go in the first. Jada Plummer slings it to Crum-Jones, who hits it from deep again. And the Blue Raiders ahead 6-3. Moving in the second, the Wildcats build themselves the lead as Ivana Brown tries the baseline and hits the jumper. 16-8. Less than a minute to go in the half. Sitting behind the three-point line is Crum-Jones again, and she cans it from deep to make the score 20-11. Delmar goes on to win 41-23. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
This weekend is a big one for football fans. It's the NFC and AFC championships. On our sister station, Fox 21, catch division rivals going toe-to-toe, the Commanders and the Eagles at 3 p.m. Then on our sister station, WBOC, you can watch the Buffalo Bills take on the Kansas City Chiefs. That game is at 6:30 p.m.
Download the free CoastTV First Alert Weather app today.
There's only one place to go for your next vehicle. IG Burton, Lewis Auto Mall, Chevrolet Buick GMC. Trusted since 1908 for our expert team, massive selection, and our unbeatable prices. Together, let's drive new 2024 Chevrolet Silverados up to $12,000 off MSRP. Or lease a new Buick Encore GX from $269 a month. Visit us today. And remember,
nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
Nobody beats an IG Burton deal.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry-first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation, where we bring the showroom to you.
At Delaware Electric Cooperative, safety is our top priority, and we need your help to keep employees safe. When you see our team working along area roadways, please slow down and move over. Delaware law requires drivers to reduce speed and move over when approaching working utility vehicles. If you can't move into other lanes, drive at least 20 miles per hour below the posted speed limit. Do your part to make sure our crews go home safe to their families every day. Slow down. Move over. It's the law.
There's a reason Subaru owners keep coming back. It's because Subaru delivers what matters most: unmatched safety, reliability, and trust that grows with every mile. In fact, 96% of Subaru vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today, more than Honda or Toyota brands. At Gateway Subaru, we're proud to offer transparency, honest pricing, and the most enjoyable car buying experience. Stop by today and pre-order the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards.
With more than 25 years of surgical expertise, Dr. Julie Berry is now accepting new patients at Tidal Health Ear, Nose, and Throat Surgery. Dr. Berry offers specialized care for a wide range of general ear, nose, and throat disorders. Whether you're dealing with chronic sinus issues or require advanced surgical intervention, Dr. Berry is here to provide expert care tailored to your specific needs. Discover the difference that expert care can make. Schedule your appointment today.
Are you having a rough week this week? That's okay. We have something to cheer you up. A weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. And you can sign up for free right now at coasttv.com/signup.
And Christina does a great job with those reports too, by the way. All right, so our Tidal Health camera in Salisbury, we're at 13 degrees right now in Salisbury. I mean, it looks like a pretty normal humdrum type of a day. Step outside, it's real serious, okay? We're going to stay in the teens for the rest of the night. Now, our umbrella winner is Gregory Thomas of Ocean View. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. If you need the information on your forecast, call our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalas, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling 10-day forecast. Now, let me be real honest here. We do have 2 more days of cold left, Friday and Saturday. But after Saturday, the worm turns in our favor for it to become a lot warmer, because the difference between this 36 and that 48 is going to be stark, because the winds will be coming out of the south as well, and it'll just be better, you know?
Yeah, I sure hope so. Thank you, Paul, and thanks to you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For some more local news, local weather, you can download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you back tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.